So who is who is that enclave of truth within the world of falsehood? It's you. Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof. This is a core sentence, which is typically translated as justice, justice you shall pursue. It is one of those banner verses in Parshat Shoftim, in this week's Parsha. And typically it is it stands for the Torah's general attitude that social justice is a must, it's an expectation according to the values of Torah, or it's a divine expectation, it's a spiritual core imperative, you could say. And mostly we think of pursuing justice as, or especially as pursuing social justice. There's also individual justice, especially for us, Torah true liberal Jews. It means that social justice activism is supported by Torah. Whether it's social justice in the realm of economic justice, in legal justice, in gender justice, in immigration justice, in food justice, in environmental justice, etc. So there's a lot to repair and to fight for and be an activist for in our world, for sure. And the Torah supports that by saying, yes, your job is to go out and pursue those kinds of justice. There's also a more narrow understanding of justice. Justice you shall pursue, and that is in court, specifically in disputes between two individuals. And when there's two contradicting claims, the Torah here is being very particular that the judges should make sure, be very, very careful that they come out with the right judgment. Right? So be very meticulous, because it is so critical that a judgment is rendered truthfully. And here is where we're going to jump right into the Slonimer Netivot Shalom. Back with the Slonimer today, Netivot Shalom, and we are in the book of Devarim, the volume of Devarim, or Deuteronomy, on page Kuf Tet, which is 109. And you will see when you open to that page, there's the title Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof, Justice, Justice you shall pursue. Now the Slonimer takes us to, plunges into a bit of a philosophical depth. And it's quite fascinating, so let's go. Tzedek, Tzedek Tirdof leman tichyeh v'yarashta et haaretz. So the full verse is, you shall pursue justice, justice, in order that you live and you own the land or inherit the land. That's literally the quote from Shoftim. V'tirgem Unkulus Tzedek milshon emet. And Unkulus was the first translator of the Torah from Hebrew to Aramaic. And every translation is also an interpretation. So when Unkulus translated to Aramaic, he translated the word tzedek not as justice, but actually as truth. Kushta tihi radif. Truth you shall pursue. So the sages have questioned his interpretation. The truth is one. There's only one truth. So if you're going to pursue truth, why does it say truth you shall pursue? There can't be two truths. What is the repetition about? וכן צריך ביאור, מה שאמרו חז"ל עוד, and we also need to clarify this other commentary by the sages in Talmud Bavli Shabbat Yud, the tractate of Shabbat on page 10 or Yud. Kol dayan shedan din emet le'amito nasa shutaf lakadosh baruch hu b'maaseh bereshit. So listen, you'll see the same pattern or the same question can be asked about this commentary. Any judge who renders a truly truthful judgment becomes a partner with the Holy One, blessed be, in the act of creation. Which is considered a very high level, a very high designation to be a partner with the Holy One. וצריך ביאור. מה הרבותא בזה שדן דין אמת לאמיתו? So we can ask the same question here. What is this multiplicity that it says that a judge truly judged a truly truthful judgment, and for this they are rewarded with such a high attainment. So what is this duplication of truthful truth or truth? And the same for justice, or justified justice. Why the duplication? והעניין, כדאית בתורת אבות על פסוק זה, and as it is brought in Pirkei Avot, in the Ethics of the Fathers, in this very verse, Tzedek תרדוף, יש מדרגה של אמת שהיא מצד הערת הדעת. There is a level of truth that comes from the enlightenment of the mind. ולמעלה ממנה יש מדרגה באמת שהיא מצד נקודת הלב. But above that, higher than that, there is a level of truth that comes from the heart. שגם ברגש הלב הוא מרגיש שזו האמת. Meaning that there's a truth, in addition to that, there's a heart feeling, there's an intuition, where the judge knows deeply that this is true. And from there the judge arrives to even a higher level where the truth is infused within all of his or her parts of the body. So there's a truth that's cerebral, there's a truth that's felt in the heart, and then there's a truth that's infused in the body, going from lower to higher in that order. Says the Slonimer. וזה פירוש קושטא תהי רדיף. And that's what it means when the Torah says, pursue truthfulness. Kushta, im HaKadosh Baruch Hu azal Yehudi v'zacha le'emet mitzad ha'arat hadat, if a person is graced to find a truth from the side of the illumination of the mind, kushta tehiradiv, then now start pursuing a higher level of truth. She'yamshich zot leharat halev. That should, so then the person should extend that to the illumination of the heart. Lema'an tichyeh. Now he's going back to the original verse that says, justice, or truth you shall pursue in order that you live and own the land or inherit the land. So now he's saying, so in order that you shall live, what does that mean? What does it mean that you shall pursue this multi-faceted, multi-level levels of truth in order to live? And if you don't, what are you going to die? And so he says, no, it doesn't mean that you live as opposed to dying, but that you become enlivened. In order that you become enlivened, alive, more full. Because the life force, the aliveness that is in holiness is primarily in the heart. וירשת את הארץ, and you shall own the land, שעל ידי זה תירש את כל הארציות והחומר. That through this you will own or inherit all of materiality. In other words, you will attain the level of mastery of your own materiality. Mastery of mind over body, spirit over body. So there's a mind, a cerebral understanding of truth. Then there's a truth that's infused with the holiness of the heart. And then on a third level, there's a truth that infuses the whole being, which is at the level of mastery of spirit over matter. And from here we learn that when it comes to truth, there are multiple levels. Mikaf raglo v'ad rosho. He's saying, nicely metaphorically, from the heel of your foot to the top of the crown of your head. There are many levels of truthfulness. B'moch b'levu b'evarim, in mind, heart, and body. So there's a Slonimer. Truthfulness, the pursuit of truth, according to the Slonimer and the sages in the Gemara, is not just the pursuit of truth on a social level, but it's a pursuit of truth in various dimensions, in deeper and deeper levels. This is not to say that the pursuit on the social level or individual justice is not important. Not at all. But the Torah is saying, pursue truth, and then furthermore and furthermore into the various levels that are available, to the depths that are available. So you see that justice and social justice is really a gateway into spiritual evolution. And, we can make the claim, and I will make the claim, that it's a prerequisite. There is no spirituality that does not start with a sensitivity to justice, to other people around us, whether individually or the collective that we're a part of. There is none, according to Torah. So that's a very good place. It's a requisite place to start on the path of spiritual evolution. I think it's Carolyn Mays said that there is no consciousness without conscience. I think that expresses the same idea. והביאור בכל זה כדאית שנתאווה הקדוש ברוך הוא להיות לו דירה בתחתונים. And the explanation for all this, says the Slonimer, comes from the notion that the Holy One has desired to have residence on the lower levels. Ha'olam hazeh nikra olam hasheker. This world, according to the sages, is called the world of falsehood, and you can see that expressed in other traditions. For instance, when Eastern traditions talks about illusion, right? So we live in a world of illusion, of Maya, right? So the sages said this world, the world we live in, is a world of falsehood in its nature, in its design. And the purpose of creation is to have a stronghold, a place for the Holy One inside that environment. There should be a point of truth, or you could say an enclave of truth within this world of falsehood that's by design created that way. And this is what it means, truthfulness you shall pursue. That, and so who is that enclave of truth within the world of falsehood? It's you and I. That is our challenge. That is the spiritual challenge. The spiritual challenge is to create a divine space, or dira. Dira means a place of habitation. That we become the habitation of absolute truthfulness within an environment of falsehood. That is the spiritual challenge. That's a spiritual work according to the sages. And when we do that, that is when we leman tichyeh. That is when we become fully alive. Then we can consider ourselves to have become full human beings in our full aliveness and full potential. Is then when we become absolutely truthful within an environment, a natural environment of falsehood, of illusion, of Maya, of deceit, of corruption. Can I become the island or the habitation? Habitat for humanity. How about I become habitat for the Holy One? That is what the sages are pointing us towards. Emet, tzedek, tzedek tirdof. You become that multi-layer, complete, absolutely full space of truthfulness within an environment that is the opposite. Ve'arashta et haaretz. And then you become the owner, the inheritor of all material. Then you become a master of the material, a master of the level of falsehood. And a master of your own materiality. This is where sages have complete mastery over their own bodies. And you may have heard about that. I've actually met more than one person that had mastery over their own body in unnatural ways. And that comes from that practice of deepening of truthfulness. Capital T. Please subscribe by clicking the red button below. Like, share, comment. It is great to have you here. See you later.